Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. First Alert meteorologist Diane Phillips hanging out with you today and also first alerting you to the snowfall that is on track tonight. We are still going to be talking about winter weather, though we've had fake spring. We are still going to be experiencing winter since it is February after all. So we want to make sure that you have the latest information on what we're looking at. So we're going to be diving into that forecast. Starting out right with that, you are going to see that our system is starting to get a little bit closer. We are spotting that kind of that thick, heavy band of snow is still setting up across Wisconsin, coming into the UP. This is going to be what really brings us our fast accumulations tonight and really kind of the headliner with our snow system that we have. So even though we do have a little bit of snow out ahead of this one, it's really going to kind of be one big thump of snow that we're watching that is going to really allow this one to add up. So this is just the system that we're tracking. I am going to zoom in here just so we can kind of get a good look. And kind of see even how far away that band is. So this is kind of that now point, but we do have a ruler here, which is always kind of fun to see. So just kind of on the leading edge of this thump of snow, kind of coming in here. So you can see it's about 200 miles away yet. So it is moving along pretty quickly. The one thing though that we have been monitoring in the data here this afternoon is it seems to be maybe an hour, 2 hours at most slower. So that is something new that we're watching. Really doesn't change the time frame a ton, again 60 minutes, but it can make a difference on getting home from work on time. So if you get out a little bit later, I still anticipate seeing some slowdowns on those roadways, but if you're going to high school basketball tonight, I still would anticipate seeing those slippery conditions on the roadways by the time you are getting to the gym and then wanting to head home. On our pinpoint Doppler, though, not too much happening here locally. We are seeing that we have some sun, some clouds. I'll actually bring up our camera here along I-75 at the Miller Road overpass. You can see that we have a lot of sunshine here, but even just kind of on the bottom portion of your screen, you can see that those clouds that we do have, they provide some shade at some times. So we are going to continue to build in on that cloud cover. We can really see that coming in towards the west here. So that is going to just kind of eat away at our sunshine. So we still have some of that here into Flint, but it's not holding on for everybody. So just note that the cloud cover is signaling that that snow is getting closer. But so far, really not a lot of flurry activity for us, but as we get a little bit later here into the afternoon, we will start to see those flurries pick up. Here's our camera in downtown Saginaw. You can see a little bit of a different look, a few more clouds here. We also have still some sun coming through. It's just a little bit more filtered overall. Not necessarily all that busy. Air temperatures this afternoon warming up just a little bit. We are currently seeing those to be into the upper 20s. We were around 25 degrees around lunchtime, so we've gained a little bit of heat, but not a ton here. Still pretty much winter-like, still below average. Normal highs, we should be seeing those around 34. So considering we're falling short of the 30s, we are a little bit off track from where we should be. We are currently at 27 for Bay City, West Branch, and in Flint and in Caro. We're at 21 in Port Hope and Oscoda. We're at 33 though in Mount Pleasant. We have 30 degrees surrounding for Elma and Clare. We're at 29 in Owasso, 26 for Saginaw. We have 28 in Gladwin and Standish, and the same for Midland. But the big thing is going to be the system that we're tracking here for this evening. So really the main concerns, the impacts that you're going to see from tonight's snowfall is going to be road conditions. We are going to be finding, again, if you're going to basketball, if you maybe have a meeting that you have to get to afterwards, you are going to be finding that you do still have those slippery conditions that we're going to be traveling on. So that's going to be a possibility from about the evening commute going into bedtime tonight. So that's still going to kind of hit a lot of people's planners potentially. So it is going to be some snow that moves through. It's just one big thump. So I anticipate, again, road impacts to be an issue, but then also basketball games or any after-school activities, we may find that those get canceled. So check in with school districts to see how the schedule's working out, if things are on time, because I do anticipate seeing some changes there. So those are going to be the two big impacts that we're watching here from this system. As I had mentioned, it is still setting up towards our west. It is going to be headed in our direction here. So when we look at the hour-by-hour forecast, Diving right here into the timing, you are going to see that it is still pretty quiet here for the next couple of hours. So if you have maybe a doctor's appointment at 3 o'clock, no concerns to get there. As we go closer towards 5, we do start to see that snow enter in from our northwest. So that's going to be starting to impact Houghton Lake and Clare at this point. Now, if you are in Saginaw and you get out of work at 5 o'clock, same for Flint. You're not going to be having any issues driving on 75 right at 5 o'clock when you punch the clock. Now, as this snow starts to move across, you can see that if you're traveling north, that's when we're going to start to pick up on that snowfall. Here at 6 o'clock is kind of when that heavy push of snow comes in, that band sets up. So this is where we're going to be seeing fast accumulations. We can have lower visibilities in that band, so it is going to be a small time frame that we have this, but still enough to be a nuisance. So that's going to be coming in, you can see here at 6 o'clock. By 7, it's still kind of coming across. We're seeing that through Rose City into West Branch, coming across Gladwin, Clare, just entering into Mount Pleasant, just on the outskirts of Midland. You can see like right about 8 o'clock, we anticipate that kind of coming into the Tri-Cities towards Chesnee, Owasso, exiting Standish, that point, and even almost leaving Oscoda. So we are going to be monitoring the timing of this, because yesterday when we were looking at this, it was kind of bringing this band to come in around 6, 7 o'clock. Now it's closer towards 7, 8 o'clock. So again, it's about an hour to 2 hour difference that we will be seeing from these conditions, but we are going to continue to track this line for everybody. So it is anticipated to come into the thumb closer towards the 9 o'clock time frame. So that means that you're the latest ones to get it, but that also means that it may slow us down on that cleanup process. But as we go into 10 o'clock, you can see that the majority of the band is pushing out over water headed into Canada. And then we just behind it have some lingering snow showers. So these are going to be building in. And a lot of it actually switches over towards lake effect as we get into Wednesday morning. I do want to talk about roadways and conditions, because we do not have a first alert weather day for this one. And the main reason is that the impacts, yes, tonight are going to be possible, but also we just had a snow very similar to this over on Sunday. So we're kind of no strangers to seeing an inch, 2 inches, 3 inches at this point. And also the impacts are going to be hitting after the evening commute. Sure, we could see some basketball games that are postponed or canceled. Now, one thing that I do want to point out is the Wednesday morning drive. That one could be a little bit tricky. I'll bring up some of our drive times here for today. I still need to kind of hop in here and update that. I've been looking at more data rather than updating these graphics. But you can see that we have the red light here coming in 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock tonight. So something to kind of think about going into Wednesday morning. And the big question that I have is, are road crews going to be out there tonight at midnight? Are they going to be coming out tomorrow morning closer towards daybreak? Are they going to be kind of coming out 4 or 5 o'clock? The big question is when do road crews hit the roads? So that's going to be kind of the big determining factor on what you experience for your drive-in on Wednesday morning. Because a lot of the snow is going to be done. We're just going to have some lighter snow showers coming through. But just some departments like to wait until it's all done, and then they like to clear out that snow. We may find, though, that it's okay, the big bulk of it is done. We are going to keep our crews cleaning up those conditions, and then we will still find that we have some of those scattered showers that pick up, and that's still manageable for crews that are out there. So the biggest question is the road crew timing. When are they going to be out there? So they're, of course, important to get us where we need to go safely and on time, but if they start at midnight, that's going to make the drive-in on Wednesday a lot easier. If they start, though, Wednesday morning, then we're going to be out there while they're cleaning up and maybe getting in the way a little bit. So that's just a good reminder to remember those snowplow rules, to stay about 12 car lengths back behind those plows while they're cleaning. Of course, do not pass them as they're going, because they can throw a lot of snow and some ice in your direction. So just something to kind of keep in mind when you're thinking about, do I need extra time Wednesday morning? And the answer is maybe. You may need some extra time. I think it's always easier to be on the side of caution and just build that in when you're setting the alarm clock tonight. But whenever we have snow coming down, even if it's just a little bit of snow, it can sneak up on us, make our roadways slippery. So make sure that you're not caught off guard behind the wheel, because it doesn't take much when we start to get that greasy feeling on our roadways. As we go throughout the day on Wednesday, though, we will find that those snow showers do start to wrap up for us. So that's going to be good news, is that we don't have continual snow kind of building in. So once we do get our roadways cleaned up, that means that they should stay that way. We have quite a bit of cloud cover, so the sun isn't going to be doing a lot of melting. We clear out our clouds a little bit going into Thursday morning, so we will find a little more sunshine does arrive as we reach the later portions here of this week. Now, we are going to still be looking at the snow totals from this system, so stay tuned. We're going to take a quick 60-second break, and we're going to be right back here. Welcome back. We are going to be finding that the system coming in does have a thump of snow in it. So what that means is that we're going to have a big push of snow that comes through. And so that's where we have the potential for reduced visibilities and fast accumulation. So when we look at our snowfall rates per hour, I have seen these kind of vary anywhere from about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. So that time frame sitting around 8, 9, 10 o'clock, depending though, if you're further west, shift that about an hour or two earlier. If you're a little bit further east, kind of only shift that about an hour or so. Because again, we're anticipating seeing that enter mid-Michigan around 5, 6 o'clock and then leaving closer towards 10 o'clock tonight. So now time frame to where as that pushes through that band, it's not going to sit, it's not wide enough to sit across all of mid-Michigan. We're still going to be picking up on the chance though for that snow to be coming through multiple communities at a time and then dumping that snowfall as it comes through. But still, MDOT crews have said that they easily can manage about an inch per hour or less. So this is going to be a snowfall rate that's very much manageable for them. Still, though, at times the visibilities will drop. You can have some of those intense rates. Also, the sun will have set at this point. So that just means that all of that snow hitting your car headlights might be tricky for drivers. So I just anticipate if you're traveling tonight, you're just going to have to use some slower speeds to get to your travel destinations. If you can maybe cancel your plans and just take it easy, it's not that it's not going to be impassable. It's just a convenience thing that you can maybe just reschedule that meeting. Of course, again, we'll be checking in with schools to see what their plans are as far as how they're going to handle some of the roadways and the conditions. Of course, we are going to find that for some of us, we are going to be looking at some smaller snow amounts. So we so far don't have any information coming in. None of the schools are letting us know on the basketball plans. So right now it kind of seems like everybody is on time. Again, this is going to be manageable. It's just more of an inconvenience. It just means that we're going to be driving slower. We're not going to be closer to those speed limit signs on the sides of the road. This is what a lot of you are here looking for, is our snowfall map. I do also want to shout out Cherry and Hernando. Thanks for joining us, staying updated on your first alert forecast. Back to those snow totals, we are going to see that we have our 1 to 3 inch zone. This is going to come in towards half of about Clare County, that northeast corner, cutting through Gladwin, and then kind of diagonal cut in and closer towards Linwood and then northward. So that's kind of where that line sits. That 1 to 3 zone does not include Midland or Bay City. It doesn't cut through the Tri-Cities. And then we are seeing that that line does, though, continue through the Outer Bay and comes across. So we have all of Huron County in our 1 to 3 zone, and then northern Tuscola and Sanilac counties for our 1 to 3, and then just further south, so including the Tri-Cities, including Flint, coming over towards Mount Pleasant, Alma. You can see, and even the southern half of the thumb, that we do have our trace to 2 inch zone there. So I anticipate for a lot of us an inch is going to be a pretty reasonable number. We just see some higher chances coming in our northern portions of mid-Michigan, and then also the Outer Bay has a little bit more of an enhancement, so that's going to allow the thumb to pick up a little more snow, especially into Huron County. So again, these numbers, I know a lot of you are professional Michigan drivers. This is nothing that you haven't seen before. This is also something that you've already driven in here, even for some of us on Sunday, and then for others just earlier in the season. So I know that this isn't new news, but it's just always a friendly reminder after having fake spring that whenever we do have that snow come back in, it is still slippery on our roadways. A lot of our ground temperatures have been hanging right around the freezing mark, maybe slipping a couple degrees below that. So we may find that it's able to stick a little bit better, but hopefully though we can find that it does have a little bit of melting on there, and then with road crews, we should then be in pretty good shape. So again, just kind of keep in mind that your Wednesday morning is going to vary, just really depending where you start your morning commute. I know some communities are going to start a little bit later than others, so that's why you might find some variations to where as you were going, the commute maybe got worse or maybe it gets better. So just know that you're going to need some patience on our Wednesday morning drive into work. We are going to be looking at that 7-day forecast here. You are going to be seeing that we do have just this system that comes in tonight. That's kind of the headliner here for the rest of this week because we'll just have some of those lingering snow showers and flurries for Wednesday morning. And then Thursday and Friday, we have some sunshine. It's been looking a little bit brighter for later this week. That also helps temperatures to warm up. Though Thursday, we're still right around freezing, but we at least get up to 46 by Friday. Friday's been really kind of a picture-perfect day. It's breezy, but it helps us to get into the mid-40s and that sunshine. As we go into Saturday, I do have a system that's trying to pick up. So it is going to come in Saturday night, just right around sunset or shortly after. And so we're going to be watching to see how much snow that's going to include and if the timing can hold. So there's still a few elements that we need to work out with that one. But the big signal is that if you're partying Saturday night, keep an eye to the first alert forecast. We still have some work to do on that, but we will be keeping an eye to that system. It doesn't really bleed into Sunday all that much, and even Monday we're looking pretty good. Still cooler, temperatures in the mid-20s, but we're going to try to keep some sunshine into the forecast. So kind of once we get through tonight, that's going to be our big system here within that 7-day outlook, but we do have a chance of some snow coming in on Saturday evening, so we'll be keeping a close eye to that. Of course, you can too with your First Alert weather app. I'll bring up that QR code here for you to get that downloaded on your devices. So that is free to download on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. So that is going to be a helpful tool here. I already sent an update. So if you already have that, then you probably already saw that video update. But if you don't have it, then you'll probably be missing out on the updates that we're going to send your way tonight. So don't forget to give that a download and make sure that you are connected with your First Alert weather team. Of course, on air here at the digital desk, but also on the TV5 First Alert weather app. Again, that's a great tool to make sure that you're staying on top. And it's also going to be good when severe weather season comes because there's a lot of tools in there that will help with that. That is, though, all the details that we have for today. I am going to hop here into the chat real fast and to see, Derek wants to see the hour by hour again. So we can hop over to that hour by hour one more time for folks who maybe weren't able to join right at 2 o'clock getting out of a meeting and able to hop on the stream. So for the next couple of hours, let me bring that up here. So yeah, for the next couple of hours, you are going to be finding that we do have the cloud cover building in. That kind of signals that the snow is getting closer for us. But here closer towards 5 o'clock, you can see for commuters along 127, that's when we're going to start to see some of that snow. It will move eastward. You can see here at 6 o'clock, kind of the northern portions of 75 coming in north of US 10. We're continuing to kind of see that heavier snow band setting up. So this is going to be where you see some of those darker purples and blues. That's going to be those heavier snowfall rates. As we get closer towards 7 o'clock, you can see that it does start to push through, coming through Mount Pleasant pretty early in the 7 o'clock hour, and then coming in towards the Tri-Cities kind of in the later half of 7 o'clock. A little bit closer towards 8 o'clock is when we'll be seeing that towards Midland, Bay City, Saginaw. It does start to roll into Flint just shortly after 8 o'clock, coming into the thumb there as well. So we'll be seeing this through about 10 o'clock. You can see that that heavy band comes in, and then behind it, we are going to still find that we have some scattered snow showers. So that's going to be here during the night. But for crews who are deciding what they want to do, if maybe you own a snowplow business and you're wondering when you need to go and kind of clear off some of those parking lots or sidewalks or anything like that, the bulk of this is going to be done by midnight. So it's just behind it going to be some scattered lake effect. It's not going to be widespread on what we pick up after midnight, but it is still going to bring at least a little bit of snow, but it's not going to add up to a bunch to where it shouldn't totally ruin all your hard work as far as pushing some of that snow out. So again, it's going to kind of be this evening during basketball that we are going to be eyeing the potential for seeing some of that heavier snow coming through and then really kind of making our roadways a little bit slippery. So we'll of course be keeping an eye to these conditions tonight during our newscast, starting again on TV5 at 4 p.m. lasting all the way through 6:30. And then we also have our news and weather update that streams to all of our digital platforms starting at 6:30. So Chris, of course, will be watching the system come in at that time frame. And then he'll also have an update tonight at 9 o'clock here at WNEM.com, on the TV5 YouTube, Facebook pages, the TV5 News app. So all of those places that you can stream. He's going to be covering the forecast there to make sure that the system works its way out and that it hasn't slowed down. But if we have any changes here this afternoon, the only thing of note is that it's maybe an hour, 2 hours at most, a little bit slower, but we're still going to be watching that time frame about 5, 6 o'clock for that snow to start pushing across to mid-Michigan. That seems to be all the questions that we have in the chat. So I want to thank, though, everybody for joining me today. And of course, make sure you tune in today starting at 4 o'clock to TV5. We're going to still be updating and keeping an eye on the system rolling into mid-Michigan, as it is going to be right there during the evening commute. So we'll help you get through it. Have a good afternoon and stay safe.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.